People power. People power. Power, power. People power. Our power. People power. Our power. People power. People power. Our power. Everywhere. Everywhere. Everywhere.
People power. Benanga tetulinya muddo following buno bupande tuyingire. So to follow temulinya muddo Mwingine nga tulinya muto fenne for organizing. Power. Our power. People power. Members, you don't need to step on the ground. The people power. Our power. Our power. People power.
Nanga chiveko.
People power.
People power. Our power.
Don't step on the grass. We are at the this is the government of Ontario. All Ontario. We are the officers of the Premier of Ontario. Our leader is for. So let's maintain peace. This is the officers.
People power. Our power.
These are officers for Ontario. These are officers for Ontario members. Let's maintain discipline. These are the government officers for Ontario. Let's have discipline here.
Okay.
Mugish.
Yes, Jimmy.
Let's go up to the main entrance. Let's go up to the main entrance, member.
I'm so excited you went back. I saw you came here with me and then you went back.
Mugende maseri kazinda aha twagala kuyimba
Vai bueno ya.
Donen, oh, ibadde ayogera mu Canada, bonna oyo ali Kazandaalo yenna asobola okudda kyabadde ayogera mu Luzungu abikole mu Luzungu etuuse
Olutalo naluwete tuyambale ngule olutalo tuli pimba mu Uganda masa olutalo naluwete tuyambale ngule tuli pimba mu Uganda.
Sabo, tuwa vibe nawe. Canada.
So listen to this people.
Guys, you gotta be about down the yellow line, okay? Yeah, you guys can't be up here.
more members. Let's get organized and get some communication.
Go to the other side of the yellow line, or they're gonna push you further away. Okay?
Hello, members. Let's go organized. Then we see the So first of all, I want to welcome everybody. This is a great day. Thank you so much for coming. And today, they are just joining us communicating. Let us direct that.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. We are here to deliver a letter of petition to the Premier of Ontario. Ontario is the province, capital is Toronto. So this, we are going to read it loud for everyone who can't hear it. Then we'll have each one of us sign it and we'll deliver it to his office. Premier of Ontario Legislative Assembly, Queen's Park, Toronto. Dear Doug Ford, urgent call to address human rights violations and democratic erosion in Uganda. We Ugandans residing in the province of Ontario come to you with heavy hearts and deep concerns regarding the escalating human rights violations, democratic erosion, pervasive corruption, and alarming incidents of election violence in Uganda. As Ontario is home to a significant Ugandan migrant community, many of whom are political refugees fleeing persecution, our connection to these issues is profound and personal. The recent expulsion of Uganda from the African Growth and Opportunity Act trade agreement by President Joe Biden in January 1st, 2024, alongside visa restrictions imposed on Ugandan government officials complicit in undermining democratic processes, underscores the severity of the situation. In addition to that, the United States has issued a business advisory cautioning against operating in an environment rife with corruption, extreme discrimination, and minority groups and human rights abuses. Notably, the U.S. Department of Treasury imposed the Magnitsky sanctions of Uganda's Commissioner General of Prisons, Johnson Byabashaija, for his role in torture and human rights violations within correctional facilities. The United Kingdom has also recently sanctioned the Speaker of the Ugandan Parliament, Anita Among, the two high-profile Ugandan lawmakers, Mary Chitutu and Agnes Nandutsu, on grounds of corruption, and subjected them to travel bans and asset freezes under the UK's global anti-corruption sanctions regime. Despite these sanctions, the Museveni regime persists in its oppressive behavior. Numerous civilians, particularly those opposed to the regime, have been abducted and forcibly disappeared. With 18 opposition members still missing after nearly 4 years, the names of these individuals, including Moses Mbabazi, Dennis Zimula, Shafik Wangolo, Martin Lukwago, Peter Chiria, John Damulida, Michael Semudu, John Kanata, John Bosco Chibalama, Vincent Nalumoso, Yuda Sempija, Musisi Mbowa, Mustafa Luwemba, Hassan Bubiru, Isma Sensazi, Godfrey Chisemba, George Kasumba, Joseph Baguma, and others must be forgotten, if not dead. Additionally, political opponents are arbitrarily detained and subjected to military trials, infringing upon their constitutional rights to due process. Notably, individuals subjected to this unconstitutional practice include Yasin Sechtolepo, Robert Christopher Rugumayo, Ronald Maliga, Patrick Mwase, Simon Kijambo, Abdul Matovu, Richard Nyombi, Olivia Lutaya, Ronald Kijambo, Sharif Kalanzi, Joseph Muwonge, Mesa Chiwanuka, Abdallah Chintu, Umar Emakato, Musa Kavuma, Ibrahim Wandera, Aspat Nagwere, Stephen Musakulu, Jimmy Galukande, Paul Mwangusi, Kenneth Hamanya, Sharif Matovu, Shafiq Ngobi, Davis Mafabi, Abdallah Hakim Gibusiwa, Livingston Katushabe Chigozi, Obalai Siraj Madebo, Joseph Muganza, and Stanley Luanga, among others. Attached for reference are human rights reports from the United States Department of State and Human Rights Watch detailing their situation in Uganda. We have a 2022 report attached and a 2023 report about Uganda. As Uganda approaches the 2026 presidential elections, the situation continues to deteriorate and poses a grave threat to the democratic process, exacerbating the plight of political refugees seeking safety abroad. In light of these dire circumstances, we implore the government of Ontario to investigate Uganda's activities responsible for the suffering of Ugandan immigrants in Ontario and Canada. We urge you to leverage your mandate to champion democracy and human rights by advocating for the following actions through the Canadian government and civil society organizations. 1. Impose targeted sanctions. Apply asset freezes and travel restrictions on specific Ugandan government officials complicit of human rights abuses. Call for repeal discriminatory legislation. Demand the immediate repeal of legislation in Uganda that perpetuates discrimination against minority individuals and undermines progress in combating HIV/AIDS. Support civil society organizations by increasing funding for Ugandan civil society organizations, advocating for human rights and democracy, empowering grassroots movements. We request you demand for election reforms, advocate for independent international election monitoring, and press for electoral reforms to ensure fairness, transparency, and inclusivity in the electoral process. Investigate regional involvement. We request you to investigate President Museveni's involvement in perpetuating violence in Eastern Congo, holding accountable those responsible for destabilizing the region. Protect freedom of expression. We request you to call for the repeal of laws restricting civil rights and liberties and to ensure the protection of freedom of expression for all Ugandan citizens. Secure release of political prisoners. We request you demand the immediate release of all political prisoners and victims of forced disappearances, upholding their rights to due process and justice. And military trials. We request you demand for the halt of practicing and trying civilians in military courts, ensuring access to the fair trials and legal representation in accordance with international standards. We appeal to the Ontario government to stand in solidarity with Ugandans in Ontario and Canada by advocating for these critical issues and measures. Moreover, we urge the Canadian government to take decisive action to promote democracy and protect human rights in Uganda. Thank you for your attention to this urgent matter. Together, let us uphold the principles of justice, dignity, and equality for all. Sincerely, the National Unity Platform Canada Chapter.
People power! Our power! Our power! People power! NUP! Everywhere!
Tambi, please.
People power! Our power! Everywhere!
If you have friends, we need to sign the petition.
We need to sign out the petition behind.
bakolere wano jango wandikira
abagala okusayininga musayininga ku speed.
Ekisooka abantu bayombye nti mukulu Ntambi lwaki mwateesezza Friday ng'abantu baagala kujja Saturday naye abakulembeze bakinyonyodde nti twadde twaga kusanga ofiisi eno nga nzigule era apologies njagala okwebaza abantu bonna abazze yantudde wano bulungi abazze ne ndaba basabye emirimu bambi ne basaba okujja wano okulaba nga ki nga bakiyita batya abasabye okuwaayo ya
okwemulugunya okwogera
kyakabe
biza dictator zakola abantu bafa awaka obukumpanya obukenuzi ebbula ly'eddagala mu malwaliro embeera eyo yonna tubadde tulina ogiropa eri ensi zino ezifaninga dictator abantu bonna mu kaseera kano tulina n'abantu abakyava mu kkubo okutweyungako ne tugendagenda ku World Bank kubanga World Bank kyekitongole ekifandinga essente mu nsi yonna ne World Bank ne sente eziri mu Uganda mu ggwanga lyaffe tezimanyi kubanga eggwanga it's a foreign state balina akatiba akakuba sente ne IMF zetamanyi so bw'otunuulira nti kaweefube ono eddoboozi lino lyasaakadde
era nakusaasidde
twebaza abantu baffe bano bonna okwenyigira mu kaweefube naye yenna asigadde ebyo alowooza nno tekimukwatako kijja mumukwatako ng'asindika sente ewaka.
Nzeyi registrar njagala kwebaza waliwo ngambye nti olaba Friday abantu bano bwe bati bajjene namba. That's amazing. Abamu bo babadde balowooza nti Saturday era bakirabidde ku mikutu osegera ekisinga obukulu the statement has been released nti tuzze wano tuli wano webate etteeserezo eryontaaliyo batulinze kuwaayo kiwandiiko wano tukiweeyo poliisi weeri
ate twemulugunya bwe nyambala bwenti eno si kombati y'amagye baganda baffe bafuutu soja bonna era ntuusa okuvumirira sekuvumirira kwonna eri ebitongole ebikuuma ddembe ebyasalawo by'okuweereza dictator nga bikwata abantu bonna enkyukakyuka mwe abakuuma ddembe enkyukakyuka eyo bwe munaagaano gyenyigiramu nammwe ejja batwaliramu
osegeera neyanziza mukulembeze jangodde wali
era kantumireko oba kanjogereko eri pulezidenti wange Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu nti taata kino kikyali kituuza tugenda kwekalakaasa ensi yonna omulundi gumu nga twogera obubaka ab'e Japan abali e Netherlands abali e UK abali e USA abali e Canada abali ludda we Sweden ne Japan omulundi ogwo ne China awatali kwekalakaasa abantu bajja kwekalakasiza mu mayumba gaabwe message tubeerenga gwe wawulirawo okutuwaaka era kino pulezidenti wange akimanyi era mu kaweefube ono nkoze nakikyamu okwanjula ebyama by'ekibiina kirigenda okuddako paka nga dictator tumumamudde
taata jangu njireko wano nange live eno njagala njimale sebo taata yimirira wali njimale n'abantu background mugirayo bulungi
tuli mu kibuga mwenyini
anayi wano nga mulaba teeserezo ly'abakulembeze wano Ontario bawo mulaba abakulembeze baffe Brenda Nakato Dodo bataddewo n'abangi bonna abavudde misaga yonna tuzze wano nga mulaba bagenda kuwayo ekiwandiiko mwe abalowooza nti nno abantu bano bajja Canada batudde nedda abonna abakulembeze ekyewuunyisa abantu abo bali awo njagala kugamba abantu kuba ndabyeko awo omuntu eyataddeko awo gundi ne bamuwa ebyayo abantu abali wano ekitundu ekinene batuuze ba Canada tebalinga buzidde omu batuuze ba Canada era newunyiza waliwo abamu bensanze noono yasabye mu ddwaliro nyina omukyala akola mu kooti anti Sega Joy ngambye katonda wange ate oba yakikoze atya so njagala kwebaza mwena bannayuganda abali mu nsi ez'ebulaaya people power twagala kulaba nga tuyimirira wamu ne bannayuganda abali e Uganda abali e Kampala nti bye muyitamu tuyimiridde wamu nammwe ngenda kubanga nyimirizaamu katono ngenda kubanga nkomawo nga mbaweereza naye kyonna ekiri wano mwe n'abalowooza nti nno waliwo abadalowooza nti bali basatu e Canada kino kyakwatayo kikyali kituuza katumale tukuwayo ekiwandiiko ate tulabe ekiddako kambasibulire wano nkomawo